June marks National Indigenous History Month, and we're kicking it off with learning and honoring the rich history this morning through books. With us today, Allison Hall-Murphy, who's with the Ottawa Public Library, to share some of her suggestions. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
I'm so happy to be here.
So tell us a little bit about the collection that we're looking at right now.
So I brought books for all ages here today, and hopefully we can go through a few recommendations for each age group. First, I wanted to start with some beautiful picture books. And the picture books I brought today all share a feature of including Indigenous languages. So they're in English, but they also include Indigenous languages in some form. And language revitalization is a really key thing people are working on right now across Canada. It's super important. This book, Let's Go, How Ikwa, by Julie Flatt. Julie Flatt is a Cree and Métis illustrator and author. And this is a book about a boy who inherits his mom's old skateboard, learns how to skateboard, and he finds, joy and freedom and community in skateboarding. And you can see the illustrations are just full of movement and flow and beautiful colors.
Beautiful. And I love that you talk about passing language on, because sadly that is something that gets lost from generation to generation.
Yeah, and I think a book like this, where it includes both languages, could be a really great tool for perhaps an adult who didn't have the opportunity to learn their language to share with their children.
Now you also have a pick here for teenagers, so let's find that one.
I do. This is a great nonfiction book, Ours to Tell, Reclaiming Indigenous Stories. And this is a really accessible book for about grade 7 up, and it features lots of Indigenous storytellers, historical and contemporary, reframing historical narratives from the Indigenous point of view. And I wanted to point out something really cool. This has storytellers from across North America, and one of them is Jay Odjick, who is an Anishinaabe Algonquin author, an illustrator, graphic novelist from Kittigan-Zibi, nearby.
Very cool.
It's super cool.
And you have a pick here as well that is geared toward adults.
I do.
Yeah.
I have two.
Okay, perfect.
And both of these would be amazing summer reads. I know we're all looking forward to maybe getting out of town, having some time to read. The first one is called From the Res to the Runway. If you're like me, you love to get into a juicy memoir when you have a little time to read. And this one is really accessible. It's funny, it's inspirational. It's about an Ojibwe journalist who's from Nipissing First Nation. And his name is Christian Allaire, and he became a fashion journalist.
Very cool.
So he always had a passion for fashion.
Yeah.
And this really goes into his journey, living in horrible tiny apartments in New York, working his way through those internships, getting to and he works for Vogue now.
Wow.
So really amazing.
And I see that Jeannie Becker actually wrote the foreword in that one.
Becker wrote
so that
the
makes
foreword.
sense.
Yes,
Okay.
this is like endorsed by Jeannie Becker.
Yes.
So.
Yes. And how about the other one?
Okay, so this is a fiction pick, Real Ones by Katharina Vermette. This is her 4th book, and you don't have to read the other ones to read this one. You can start with this one.
I've heard of this book.
Have you
haven't
heard of
read
this?
it myself.
Okay.
But I'm interested in it.
So this book takes on a really timely topic, which is Indigenous identity fraud. And it's about 2 adult sisters who are estranged from their mother. They have a Métis father, a white mother, and all of a sudden this bomb drops into their lives. They find out that their mother, who has been passing herself off as Indigenous for the last 10 years as an artist called Raven Bearclaw, there's going to be an expose about her. And this journalist is asking them for statements.
This is a very timely book.
Very timely.
I think given a lot of stories that we've seen that have been written, that have been investigated over the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's a really important topic, and Katharina Vermette is great at she's great at writing family relationships. This is a messy family, so you can read it on that level. It's a really compelling look at messy and loving family relationships, but also it has this really timely and thought-provoking aspect to it.
What a great way to get involved during this month and, to kick off the summer reading season, as you said.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. Really
Thank you for
appreciate
having me here today.
And